Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to give a review of the Netflix original movie Enola Holmes, based off the 2006 book series that came out. Came out in 2006. Based off the book series that came out in 2006, starring Millie Bobby Brown of obviously Stranger Things fame, and Henry Cavill of Superman and Witcher and Man from U.N.C.L.E. You know Henry Cavill. You just know Henry Cavill when you see him. So those are the two big names in this, movie. Everyone else is, pretty small potatoes, but those are the two big names. And Henry Cavill and Enola Holmes is about Sherlock Holmes' lesser known little sister. Yes, Sherlock Holmes has more than just a brother. He has a little sister. Now we know about his brother I think his name's Minecraft, the way it's spelled is weird, but Minecraft Holmes. We know that Sherlock Holmes, if you've ever read any Sherlock Holmes, or even watched the plethora of Sherlock Holmes movies, or even watched the shows, you know that he has a brother. Typically, a brother named Minecraft. We already known about that, we always known about that. But did you know he had a little sister? Now, clearly, this is something that was just, kind of originally an original idea. It's not an original concept. It's not a concept from the original Sherlock Holmes books. Like in the original Sherlock Holmes books, all he had was a brother. I don't think there was any mentions of a sister. This is something that, somebody created in 2006. Now, it's a pretty successful book. It's kind of one of those things in the same department with Timmy Failure and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's in that category of like these kids books that are really fun books. They're not the most thought-provoking, but they're these really fun little books. But understand, they're not like kids books, like they're like tiny little, they're books. They're just, about, I'd say like 12 and up, kind of books, like to 12 and up kind of books. It's like, you know what, you can get this. And Enola Holmes is about, like I said, about Sherlock Holmes' lesser known little sister, Enola, which stands for alone, which is alone spelled backwards, because as it turns out, at least in this world, Sherlock Holmes' mother is an extraordinary woman as well. She's a very thought-provoking woman. In fact, throughout the course of the movie, they really hint that a lot of what you get from Sherlock, not everything, even there's hints that not everything, because there's hints that Enola and Sherlock are just unique are just different kind of people in general, just unique, just witty, just get it kind of people anyways. But you get the feeling that when you see the kind of household Enola grows up in with the mother, you understand how Sherlock could become the kind of guy he ended up becoming. Now, Sherlock Holmes is played in this by Henry Cavill, which takes some adjustment because he's probably the most jacked Sherlock Holmes there's ever been. There's never been a Sherlock Holmes quite this jacked. And when you think of Sherlock Holmes, you kind of think of a slender man who can hold his own in a fight, but you don't think he'd look like a big guy who could just go to town. He kind of look like but Henry Cavill's a big dude, so But to Henry Cavill's credit, I kind of heard some guys who reviewed the movie kind of making fun of like that part. They liked the movie, but they were making fun of Henry Cavill being so big to be Sherlock, which no doubt he is clearly the biggest man to ever play Sherlock. Like in terms of muscles, biggest dude ever. But like I said, I think he did a decent enough job of playing the way he played Sherlock. I really enjoyed him. But the star of the show is Millie Bobby Brown and Enola. She's great in this movie. She really is. She's really fun. And this movie feels like a class, like I really enjoy this movie, but it almost feels like a movie that would have done better like years ago. I'm talking about because this feels like a classic movie that everyone can come see, children and kids and everyone can get together and come see. It reminds me of something along the lines of, and not in terms of genre, but in terms of like how good it is and how kids can gather together, come see it, like one of those Disney movies, like a Remember the Titans or Glory or something along those lines, where it's this well executed, well thought out movie that the family can come see. It's in the same category. It has a bit of Paddington in it. It has a bit of Christopher Robin in it in terms of because it's in, I don't want to be that guy, because it's in, London, and a lot of it takes place in London, so you got the, the accents and all, but in terms of the heart that it has a lot of heart, it has a lot of warmth, it has a message, but it doesn't really beat you over the head with it, and occasionally it feels like it's about to beat you over the head with it, but it doesn't. I will admit to you, full disclosure, I thought this movie was going to be some SJW bullshit. I did. I thought for a fact this was going to be an entire movie about them going like, Enola Holmes is so much better than Sherlock. See, you haven't heard about his sister because she's so much better than him. She's so much better than him. And like, I thought it was gonna be some shit where you never saw Sherlock in the entire movie. You just saw a glimpse of him. Like they put Henry Cavill on the. I've seen that before. You've seen that before. They put Henry Cavill on the poster. He's Sherlock, and you're gonna see him like once or twice, and he's never gonna really interact with Enola, and she's gonna just be solving all his cases, and they're gonna be like, oh, you could be greater than the Sherlock one day, and then it's gonna be like this whole thing where she's just like being built up to be so much better than him. But that's not how it ended up playing up. In fact, Henry Cavill's in the movie quite a bit. He gets a lot of screen time. Not as much as some other characters in the movie, but he gets a lot more screen time than you would think. I mean, he's in the movie. Like he's in this movie about as much as like Samuel L. Jackson is in Winter Soldier. Like Samuel L. Jackson doesn't have all the screen time, but he's in it quite a bit. But he's in it quite a bit, and that's the same thing with Henry Cavill in this. His Sherlock Holmes character doesn't loom over the movie, but like every time she's doing something, you kind of think in the back of your mind, what would Sherlock do in this situation? Or you got to think in the back of your mind, like, you know, things of that nature. And the way that they play this version of Sherlock, this is supposed to be, I hate to not talk about Millie Bobby Brown's Enola. I'll get to her. But I just love the way they play Sherlock. The way they play this Sherlock is, this is him before he met Watson. This is him before, you know, he got super famous. He's getting some ground. He's doing some legwork. But he's not super famous yet. He's not the Sherlock Holmes who, you know, just walks in the Scotland Yard and is just like, all right, let's do it. What do you know, he's not the Sherlock Holmes that people come and sought out. No, he is that guy, but he's not quite to that level yet. Like I said, he hasn't met Watson. He hasn't, you know, he's relatively young in his career, but he's done enough to prove that he's gonna be that guy. And Henry Cavill plays him well. He plays him smart and clever, and he does all the Sherlock Holmes isms. And not that he's like got the hat and everything, but he does the Sherlock Holmes isms. You know, he can figure things out. He's quick on the tat. He figures things out from just looking at things. But the way they play this version of him is like, since this is an early him, they play it like he will become the Sherlock Holmes later on, who's, you know, a little bit more open to people. But this version of him seems like he's like, because there's a line in the movie where Enola is like emotionally, you know, she's distraught because the whole movie is about the mother disappeared. So Enola is trying to find out what happened to her mother, trying to find out what the hell's going on, and she hasn't seen her brothers, you know, Minecraft and Sherlock, in years. They don't even know what she looks, to the point where they walk by her and they don't even know it's her. But I digress. That was a funny bit too. But I love the way that they play Sherlock as this guy who's just like, I am a cold, not cold, but he's just like, I don't let emotions get to me. I'm all about the facts. I'm all about this. I'm all about the numbers. I'm all about that. I don't care about any of this other stuff, because it's pointed out in the movie that you have no friends, you have no wife. All you have is your job, because you don't really talk to your brother. Yeah, you talk to your, like, and his brother kind of mentioned, yeah, we talk every couple months, but you haven't seen your mother in years. You haven't seen your sister in years. What exactly are you doing with yourself, Sherlock? And why are you doing it? And like, it's kind of brought up the point that like he could be doing so much more, but he's just doing this. And like, I like that. I like the idea that this incident with his sister is what made Sherlock be willing to open up to the idea of being emotionally connected to another person. Because like I said, it seems like the idea they were going for is, because at the beginning, Minecraft is just being a complete prick. But Sherlock's brother is a prick. He is. He's the opposite of Sherlock. He's a stuffy asshole. I mean, he's not evil. He's just a stuffy asshole. But he's like, Minecraft being a dick. He wants to send her Enola off the boarding school to like this like charm school kind of shit. And like, you know, Sherlock's not saying anything. He's not being a dick, but he won't engage. He just won't engage with people. And like, he just loves to just look at the numbers and the facts and the clues, but he doesn't want to engage with people. And that's kind of what his arc is finally getting over his not wanting to engage with people. And it's like, you gotta let people in. And so I like that they actually gave Sherlock an arc. Now, Enola's arc is very, very simple and straightforward. It's a coming of age story. It really is. It's about her becoming a woman and standing on her own and making her own choices and, you know, sink or swim. Her mother essentially basically made her sink or swim. Now, granted, we should have saw this coming. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they do give this away. I don't want to give away why her mother disappeared and why her mother ran off, but it's pretty much like, if you're clever enough, you'll figure it out within the first few minutes of the movie. It's not really a twist. It's just like it makes sense. Like, by the time the movie comes to the end, you're like, that makes sense. But man, I gotta tell you, Millie Bobby Brown did a great job. She's really endearing. I think she's got a franchise on her hands. I really enjoyed this. It was kind of like, you know, if this had took place in the same way Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes, I would have dug the hell out of it. But I really enjoyed this movie. It was a fun movie. It was a good time. It was a smooth ride. It wasn't like, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's nothing insane, but it's fresh. It's original. I liked Henry Cavill. I liked the relationship between Enola and Holmes because it was like this. It was like he saw someone. You know what it's like when Sherlock saw Enola and started talking to her. It was like he's in a world of people wearing blue coats and he wears a red coat and he's just running around in a red coat and everyone's like, that's a strange man with a red coat. And then he sees Enola wearing a red dress. He's just like, that's a strange little girl in a red dress. I wonder why she wants to wear that red dress. And he starts talking to her and just like, me and you have a lot in common. Except she's coming from a different perspective because there is definitely a message in here about a lot of things. I mean, the entire movie, minor spoilers, takes place around, you know, the whole thing about in Britain about getting women the right to vote. So there is that thing in there, but they don't beat you over the head with it like I thought they would. It's a very smooth ride. Millie Bobby Brown is a very entertaining character. She breaks the fourth wall occasionally, so that's kind of a fun thing too. There's some funny bits, there's some decent action. Granted, I will say the last action sequence is pretty brutal. Like, considering how kid-friendly it was up to that point, it's pretty brutal. Which kind of makes it kind of fun a little bit, because it has an edge to it. It's not super it's kid-friendly with an edge. So just know that going in. There's some stuff in here, not like sexual or anything, I'm talking about violence-wise, that has an edge to it. It does. It really does. And I enjoyed myself. I would see a sequel of this, honestly. I thought it was a show, and I was hoping it was a show, but it's a movie, and I'm cool with that. I really enjoyed Enola Holmes. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, man. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a solid, really fun little movie. You know, it's a really nice little family movie. You know, if this had been put out by Disney or something, I think it would have got a lot more hype and a lot more stuff around it. But, you know, Netflix comes out with so much shit that this is going to be forgotten in a couple weeks from now. But I enjoyed Enola Holmes. I thought it was a good movie. Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill did a great job. I really enjoyed his Sherlock Holmes. I really did. I really enjoyed his. I love the dichotomy. I just love the dynamic between those two. I wanted more of them. The only thing I was disappointed in this movie is that you never got to see the mother interact with Sherlock. You never got to see what the mother thought of her son and the decisions he made. It's clear that she had thoughts because one of her friends in the movie says that he kind of goes, you know, she's the one who kind of put Sherlock on blast. Like, you got no wife, you got no friends, got nothing. You look at the world so closely, but you're not actually in the world. You're just looking at the world from afar, but you're not a part of the world. And like, she kind of put him on blast, and like, she kind of put it out there that the mom thought that Sherlock was a little bit sticky, was a little stick in the mud, like he lacked imagination and a little bit, like he's a brilliant, like his mom thought he was brilliant, but he lacked, you know, something. But you never got to see their interactions. I hope, honestly, I want to get a sequel just to see the mom and Sherlock interact. I'm just curious to see. I would love to see what she thinks of Minecraft, because Minecraft is a dick. Holy shit, he is a dick. I mean, he is a bag of dicks. He is so cruel and disrespectful. And he talks shit behind their backs, man. Like, he won't talk shit to Sherlock's face, but he'll talk shit behind his back. I mean, he was just gonna ship his sister off, man. He's just like, I don't feel like dealing with this shit. I was like, damn, man, he's a dick, man. But like I said, this movie's a fun time. This movie, you know what? Talking about it now, I give it an 8.5. I give it an 8.5. This movie's a fun time. This movie's a fun time. I would have saw this in the theaters, honestly. If it was in the theaters, I would have saw it. Maybe I wouldn't have, because I would have been like, I don't know if I want to see this shit. But then I would have saw it and been like, this is a good time. This is a good time. Good time. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Movie Show. Go check out Enola Holmes on Netflix. It's a fun movie. It's a really good movie. I think Millie Bobby Brown's coming into her own, and she really does. I did not know she was British. I think she's British. Is she British? I think she is. Like, because I was a bit weirded out, because I've seen her in Stranger Things, so in my mind I was like, that's weird that they got this American actress to just play a British actor with nothing but British actors in the movie. That's a bit weird, but I think she's actually British. Whew. So thank you guys for joining the Comic Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.